record. Without looking at the homework, you must tell me what does this clause modify?
And if you spent on and but this wasn't my answer.
Yeah, it's okay, but we need to know what does it modify. Does it modify childhood or skills or artistic or during or what? Always ask yourself what he spent on a plantation, skills or a childhood. So we can spend the time. So we spend the childhood. So this is clause modify childhood. Like this is one, this is clause. What does it modify? Modifies 20s or Carver. Who had help? Who had held the variety? This person. So it must be modified this person. See it? So this is a trouble in the test. That what does it refer to? Here, for example, refers to the place. So it must be where, and already he earned the degree in this place. Catch it?
Yes.
Right. Now for the adverb clause, you remember it. And we said that adverb clause, we remember it by using subordinated conjunction. Okay. That was the other point. Now today, we are going to chapter number 5. Chapter number 5, of course, you will find it here. So you can remember, very important to study from the student book and then go to practice and workbook. Now let's take the main points in this chapter. This chapter tests you for something. Where is the subject? Where is the subject? What does it mean? It means there is agreement between the subject and the verb. If the subject is singular, the verb must be singular. If it's a plural, must be plural. The opposite. If you found the verb plural, the subject must be plural. Plus, I said to you that the subject must be pronoun or noun only. Noun or pronoun only. So the subject cannot be anything else. And I told you the subject is not in any phrase. The subject is not in any phrase. So to know the subject and the verb very quickly, delete all the phrases that we studied. Delete all the relative clauses that we studied. Delete the non-essential information between two commas, between two dashes, or parentheses. If you delete the three, you can find the subject and verb quickly and intelligently. Let's see. In this point, he said if the subject is pronoun and you found one of these, it's a singular. Remember, we have traps that it can be singular, it can be plural, but all of these always singular, always. Why? Because he said thin, because he said thin, body, one, each means one, so it's so easy to know it's the same. So as he mentioned, each of the dogs, so one of the dog, so has, right? Here he said either. He did not mention either or. He said either. It means one of them. So one of these is chosen. So it must be singular, of course. So this is so easy. Something else that this pronoun always plural. Always plural. So when you find them, do not care what does it refer to. It's always plural. So be careful. So that's his examples here, both of, so it must be where. The problem with these pronouns, not all the time it's a plural. It can be singular, plural, depending on their meaning. And that's what comes in the exam. That all of them. How can I know a check? What does it refer to? Any of the shipment, singular. Any of the books, so it's a plural. So refers to the next noun. Here, for example, all of the barrels, so it's a plural, so it's a have. Most of the work, so the work is singular. None of the runners, so it's a plural. So easy to know. All of these notes in the word still the book. So be careful. Another one is to check, does the pronoun refers to noun or not? Must be yes. For example, when did Claude Monet begin his? How did you know it's a singular? Check the paragraph. How did you know it's a male? Check the paragraph. And you are going to answer today. Dogs looked thirsty, so I gave them. So you give them to the dogs, so it must be plural. So easy to note. If you don't know it's a singular or plural, you must read the paragraph. The writer and system maker will help you. So that's a simple exercise for you. Now we have another point. He said, or. If the subject refers to two subjects joined by or, you must focus on the second subject. So Leslie, so bring her. Do you catch it? Or if you found both of them female, so it's okay. So both of them female, so we are talking about one of them. Both. Here we have and, so we need both. And the Jeff is different from Manuel. So we'll refer to that. So the problem, how to find the subject. So that is simple one. So now simple exercise, leave it for you at home. Now here for pronoun antecedent agreement, of course. For example, why we said his or her? Because it's a singular. And why his or her again? Because we don't know the male or female. Do you imagine?
Yes. Yes, I got it.
Now let the point the same next. Now let's see. Here, for example, if I said either, I'm talking about one of them. So one of them must be male, not female. So it's his. So this means we need to find agreement. Agreement in what exactly? In singular or plural, male or female, general or specific. I can say one as a human general, so it must be one. But here it could be general, like his or her. So be careful. For example, here everyone, so it must be general. He said one of the pandas must be its. He ate somebody. We don't know male or female, so it must be his or her. So you can answer at home. How about this point? It's the same. If you found them, it must be plural already. It must be them. That's why. The pronoun can help you because sometimes you don't know what means a cloud. For example, so you know it's a plural, so it's so them. So the vocab does not affect my answer. That's correct. Now, let's see the next. If I said several, so it's a plural. So it must be there. So very easy, I'll leave it for you. Here, the same problem again. If I said any of the novel, I'm talking about something singular, so it's. I'm talking about something plural, so it's there. So you must find the subject to know what does it refer to. Here is the same. All of the icy freeway. So must be it. Some of the drivers, the plural, must be there. None of the streets must be them. So the same point. So the problem is how to know that the report singular or not. They said it was. So it must be singular. So the pronoun refers to something singular, so it's it. As you see. That's one. It's called agreement when we write or read. Of course, here for this is verbs, it's so easy to know it for these verbs. It's for chapter number 6, it's about the verbs. But when you go to read for the agreement here, Let's go to revise. And 118. Of course, here we have a pre-test, so you can answer it. So after study, like that. But let's revise some. I said a herd, so I'm talking about the group of cattle, not the cattle, because cattle already plural, but I'm talking about the herd. And the herd, he said a herd, so it's one group. Must be both. Here he said teacher. Okay, my teacher can be male or female. But do we guess from our knowledge? No. There must be evidence in the text. The author, for example, does not mention anything about the teacher, male or female. So he keep it general. So it must be his or her. Again, not one of our tomato plants must be singular because he said one. So after study, you can check all of these. Understood?
Yes.
I told you later before that if you found the capital letter, it refers to a name of novel or book. It's a title. So it's a singular. So don't think that women, it's a plural. No. Talking about this novel. So this means should must be it, not them. So after reading the points, you will find it easy. Of course, John, very, very important not to skip the questions and answers. Take your time at home and read them. Of course, all the points we talked about must be here. I know it's not easy to know it's a singular plural because we have many exceptions in English. Like here, dear, the same spelling. Same spelling, it can be singular plural, yes. So of course, I will send the file to remind you of the nouns from the past years. Of course, it could be not regular plurality, child, children, two thieves, so it's different in spelling. You remember all of these. Sometimes, Joe, the writer can help you to know it's a singular plural. For example, she was overshadowed. Look, overshadow again means she felt that she was not important. So the other people make her not important. So she was overshadowed by the other, I don't know, children, singular plural, in her family, especially by her older sister. So if I said especially by someone, it means you were talking about something plural because you said it specifically. This means children must be plural, not singular. If I don't know, it means. So that is. You catch it?
Yes.
So that is right. Now good to go. And of course, at home, you can read all of these points. If you find the time to read these notes, read it. It will help you later in advanced level, but it's so easy. To tell you more about the Cantonese and Vietnamese people, they make mistakes in English, but we not follow the non-standard. Study only the standard. But you can read as knowledge. Of course, you have your answers. Here it's the same. He tells you find the subject to find the verb. Now let's practice. Let's practice. To know the subject and verb easily and quickly, very important to delete the phrases. Let's find preposition phrase, preposition phrase. Do we have any other phrases? No. Do we have any relative clauses? No. Do we have any non-essential? No. So I must find the three. All the phrases, all the relative clauses, all the non-essential information. After deleting, you will find the subject and verb easily. It's the verb, the subject. Did you catch it?
Yes.
That's the point. Here, he tells you about what I'm telling you. Delete the phrases. Here as a present participle phrase, here a positive phrase, non-essential. Here it's a relative clause. So when you delete all of that, this can help you. Here, preposition phrase again. So we'll find the movie was reviewed. We must do that because in the test, perhaps the sentence is difficult. So I cannot guess by logic. Logic means ask yourself who did, what was reviewed, the movie, the paper. I don't know. Perhaps the word is not known or it's new for me. So be careful. Of course, we have some exercises and we need to guess together. Where is the subject in number 10? Try, John.
Lunch or a snack. Customers. These customers. Right?
Here, for snack, no. As I told you,
Customers is wrong.
well, this is preposition phrase. So we delete it. Preposition phrase, we delete it. Preposition phrase, we delete it. Now what is left? Customers order noodles. Customer subject, order verb, noodles object. Understood.
So the answer is only the customers.
That is the point. So customer subjects. The problem is to find the subject. Because in the test, you will find the sentence very long. Not simple like that. But we make it simple to let you understand. Again, after a subordinated conjunction, so it's a subordinate clause, so it's a complex sentence. So do not care about the first clause. We test you for the second. So your eyes in the second, from here to there. Delete the phrases into boiling water or broth to cook. Preposition phrase, infinitive phrase. So they subject and go. And I told you before, all the personal pronouns, which are I, he, she, it, all of these subjects already. Simply. So who go? They. And what does they refer to? Noodles. But already I know it's a plural. So that's a point. So delete the phrases, a relative clause. Now let's go to the next. Let me help you for the first sentence because at home I like you to understand the answer. Not simply just like to know the answer. Try to know how. Simply delete the phrases among the prepositions. So preposition phrase. And we have relative clause. So this means the first clause. So as you know, subordinated conjunction. So your subject must be here, not there, because this is a new clause. So confusion subject is understandable because logically cannot be hard. What is understandable? Shoppers or the confusion? So by logic, it's a confusion. But sometimes I don't need logic. I like you to delete the phrases first, clauses, non-essential, to make sure. After finding the subject, ask yourself by logic. Confusion is understandable? Yes. How did you know? He said cause and effect technique. The traditional system for indicating equalities makes shopping a guessing game. So it's understandable or not? Yes. That is. Feel it? Of course, confusion is abstract noun. Abstract noun, as you know, love, honesty, something you don't know it by your senses. I don't touch or sense or feel or taste confusion. So abstract noun is always singular. Remember, Joe, the problem is where is the subject? And sometimes it can be singular. Sometimes it can be plural. Sometimes it can be singular or plural. Sometimes you don't know it. You must search for it. But any clause must have subject and verb. If it doesn't have, it's not sentence. That is the point. Again, the last sentence. Let me follow the rules. Find the phrases. As a result, the conjunctive adverb no, preposition phrase, infinitive phrase, preposition phrase. What is left? Consumer groups. So your subject is compound noun. And we're talking about the groups of consumer, the groups of the consumer. So it's focused on the second noun. So groups are plural, so it must be continued. That's the point. So deleting phrases, relative clauses, non-essential information, it's the best, fast, quick, confident way. That's all. So when you are at home, follow the same way. So all of these simple exercises for you, you can revise. Look, all of these, but never forget to revise. If you found the notes named as tips or tricks, you should revise it. It's very important. And then revise to the end of the chapter. Right now, I'm going to show you practice questions. You should give me seconds. I'm going to send it in the group now and share it. Now, Engineer John, right? Always, John, write the homework by your hand, not to forget. So now you are responsible for chapter number 5 for agreement, and then the workbook.
All chapter 5.
Yeah, all chapter 5 in the book workbook, plus his points. Of course, here it's for this, the first chapter, the chapter number 5, but it's a practice. Here we have some notes. You can read them very quickly. So after reading them, we'll practice now in the questions. Never skip. Now we test you for where is the subject, where is the verb, how to choose. Let me answer number 1. Of course, I look at the questions, I will find subject because we have verbs. So we must find a subject, verb, and object. Simply, I'm going to look for the phrases. Preposition phrase, delete. Preposition phrase, delete. Present participle phrase, delete. Relative clause, delete. Phrase, delete. Phrase, delete. Good job. Phrase, delete. Whoa, whoa. So now I found some remains. This is our way. Some it's confusing. Is it single or plural? We don't know, but he said some of the acts. As I told you, some from the pronoun that can be single or plural. So it must be remain. Of course, it has singular wrong. Of course, for present simple wrong. Here it needs a helping verb. Some are remaining, so it is wrong. This is our way. If you ask yourself logically, what or who remains ineffective today, you will be confusing. Is it oath, or is it manner, or is it acts, or congress, or who? So what is ineffective today? Of course, it refers to acts by logic, but perhaps you are in confusion if you don't know what it means effective or acts. That's why. And let me answer number 2 and leave the rest for you. When I look, it's a long sentence, of course, but I must follow the same way. Find the phrases, delete. Past participle phrase, delete. And it's between 2 commas, non-essential information, great, all of it, delete. And then phrase, preposition phrase again. And you know that the subject must be noun or pronoun. So this is adjective. This is adjective. This is conjunction. That's it. What is left? Analysis. Look. Analysis, provide, look. So analysis, I don't know what means analysis. For example, but it has SIS, so it refers to something singular because this is Latin ends. SES, a plural. So it's something singular. So your verb must be singular or have plural wrong. Here provide present simple plural wrong. So it must be letter B, it is correct. Now, do you know why do we study phrases and the clauses? Any chapter,
Yes.
any skills, all the English will be over when we know where is the phrase. Understand? That's why.
Yes.
Now I am going to answer number 3 to help. Or let me choose something difficult. Yeah, for number 8. I'm just giving you examples. So be careful. Simply, of course, here we have verbs. We must define the subject. So I must read only the sentence. So let's read. More often overlooked, but arguably more important. What is overlooked? So let's follow the rules. Delete the phrases. And then my subject must be noun or pronoun. This is adjective, this adverb, this adjective. Conjunction, adverb. See? Adjective, adjective. Good job. What is left? Isolation. So we are talking about the isolation of Dr. Ranger. It's isolation, abstract noun. It must be singular. Only letter C. Because this is plural, as you know. Why not to be had been? Simply because we are talking about past. No, talking about present. To catch it. Plus, the plus, this is past perfect. Past perfect talks about the first action. This is not the first action. So we are not talking about something happened in the past. We're talking about the fact about his translation. So letter D is wrong. That's why. So of course I will leave the rest for you to answer at home. That is your homework job. Deal. Next time we'll study more about pronouns and do more.
Okay.
That's right. Now let's spend 8 minutes as the revision. We have finished, but let's just revise some points and revise them in the text. Let's find the subject and verb for each sentence. As practice, not reading. A team which is led by, so past participle phrase delete. So the team has, but the team did not lead. The team was led. And then found that after that you are going to start a new sentence. Simply that rewilding, farmland, and then non-essential information between brackets or parentheses delete. So this is a subject, the verb. So who or what could help preserve rewilding farming? Not the rewilding the farmland. Preserve biodiversity and offset, another verb. As I told you, compound the predicate. We study like that, Joe, to understand it quickly. Offset verb, yes. Who? Wilding. Offset carbon emissions. If you don't know what means offset, try to guess. This is preserve. So what we are going to do with carbon, to stop it, to reduce it, to quit it, or to deal with it. This is the first sentence. When you jump to the next sentence, try to make connection. The amount of farmland or clause that would need to be restored. They found. Who they found? Look, subject and verb. So the sentence is, they found that the amount of farmland is the verb of the amount. So preposition phrase delete, clause delete, non-essential delete, you will find verb that. So what or who is remarkably low? The amount. I'm just like to correct and collect the information after other author. Again, rewilding a mirror, and a mirror means just like only, exact, 15% of the world's current farmland. So preposition phrase, delete. What would prevent rewilding 15? So rewilding a mere 15 will prevent 60 of expected species extinctions, and that's evidence for preserving biodiversity. So that is a point. And help, another verb. So wild, subject. And here for prevent verb, and then end the verb again. If you don't understand what means prevent, try to understand. He said help absorb. So because we have parallelism between this one and this one. Help, it's infinitive. Why it's infinitive? Because already prevent infinitive. As I told you, by using and it must be the same. And remember, they hypothesized, they guess, they think. It's not proved because they said would. Would means they hypothesize, they assume, they predict. Not happened, but they predict. So after reading the sentence, they can help absorb nearly this big number. And the dash. Dash means this is additional information, like additional, a positive phrase, or additional information. He said, all of these actions, a clear win to win in the fight against the biodiversity climate crisis. This is positive words to explain something before. If you don't understand the sentence, try to understand from the explanation. Catch it?
Yes.
That is, John, how to read the text by studying grammar. If you read in this way, you will finish all the English until the end of our life after college. That's why I read in English very, very quickly, because I know to connect the structure of the sentence. If I found something hard, I stop. He said while. While means we have comparison, contrast between the first clause, second clause. If you don't understand this one, try to understand the other one, the beginning after comma, as we did. So here. Later, we will test year. Do we need comma? Yes, because you have subordinated conjunction. Later, we will test year. How about the subject? It's funding. Because what or who offer encouraging funds, not the teams. So this is, feel it? That is why. So when you study at home, follow this way. It's helpful. Clear, my engineer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. Okay, Joe. So now I must leave you to have fun, but if you find any trouble, don't tell me. I'm just kidding. You can tell me at any moment. So now are you still, do you still want to be an engineer?
Yes.
So you don't like science? Why not? Your job is wonderful, but very challenging. Okay, Joe. Now, Joe, please protect yourself. And bye bye, you, Joe. See you next time.
Mother.